Black Ops taught me more about manifestation than Neville Goddard ever did. And once you break the brainwashing, just like in Black Ops, and the illusions you have in your own mind and your limiting beliefs of the circumstances, that's when you have an immediate freaking change in your life. You are in a totally new reality. It's once Mason broke out of the chair, he broke out of the loop of the same patterns. Okay? Now, this is all within the same, the whole storyline of Black Ops, that you could see just how educational it is with manifestation. We could draw parallels, right? But it really comes to head to the apex in the mission Revelations, right? So I'm gonna explain it real fast. Maybe I'm gonna go make a longer video to really dial in, but I felt like this would really resonate with some people who really enjoyed playing the games, right? Black Ops back in the day, right? So you look at it as Mason sitting in the chair, right? And he's getting interrogated. He's getting interrogated by Weaver and Hudson, right? And Weaver and Hudson, the CIA, those guys interrogating him, is your I am awareness, right? And they're literally telling him, it symbolizes your I am awareness trying to remember who you are. They are trying to snap, like they try to snap Mason out of the illusion that he's in, right? And they're not asking him, they're telling him. And if you don't believe me, I have quotes, I could bring up some stuff and explain it to you. But when they're talking to him, the I am awareness being very direct to Mason, and Mason's still caught in the paradigm of the false reality, right? And the brainwashing, right? And they're always trying to fucking crack him. And that's your I am awareness talking to the old identity, your old self, right? And while the old identity was conditioned by Steiner, Kurchenko, and Dragovich and Vorkuta, right? They brainwashed him. They did their own version of MK Ultra on him, right? Because they wanted him to set off all the sleeper cells and to assassinate JFK, right? But this is like the outdated script that's keeping you chained, right? Because they brainwashed him 5 years ago in the mission, right? They said it was 5 years in Vorkuta, and he's still clinging on. He's stuck. You could see, even in the chair, he's stuck to the old version, right? He says, he doesn't know what the numbers mean. His ego clinging to the past, right? Clinging to Vorkuta, clinging to Reznov, right? And now Reznov comes in, and Reznov does counter brainwashing, which can be seen like when we really start to do the affirmations of visualizations, but where we didn't fully step into that identity, that we are it now. It's almost like when we hear people on YouTube say, you got to go all in. This is like before people go all in, like they almost like they try to do it, right? And you could see that Reznov and Steiner, Kurchenko, and Dragovich, their brainwashing is like rubbing like this in Mason's head, right? So they're fighting. Both identities are fighting back and forth. And they're trying to take over him, right? And the whole time, Reznov he's the inner push to shift you to finally pass the breaking point of the old brainwashing, right? And the thing is, the CIA, Hudson and Weaver, are getting frustrated because they're saying, no, you're it now. You have the numbers now. You're it now. You're not, Reznov didn't exist. You were it now. And the moment that you finally crack, that he finally cracked, right? Mason finally cracked, is when the I am awareness, Hudson and Weaver interrogating him, fully gets Mason to see that he's been the one in charge the whole time. He knew where the ship was. And you could literally see in the mission, it's almost like Weaver gave up and Hudson's like, well, I got one last thing. The I am awareness came, one last thing. And it's like they stood up to the freaking circumstance. And as soon as Mason had the ability to take control and say, I am, he actually punched him, right? And He went through this whole circumstances thrown in his head when he punched Hudson and knocked him out, knocked him to the side, right? He broke out of the chair, meaning he broke out of the old paradigm, the old limiting beliefs, right, that he was going through. And when he was walking through the halls, he was constantly getting bombarded, right? Bombarded with all these, you would say, negative circumstances, or, you know, the old brainwashing, right? Between Steiner, Kurchenko, Dragovich, and even Reznov, all just freaking messing up his brain. And it wasn't until he finally came to the conclusion that they even say it. I mean, Reznov even says it. We are brothers. We are the same. Meaning that he was always him the whole time. He was always the person, I guess we would say, Mason was trying to see, just like how Hudson said, no, you are it the whole time. You've been it the whole time. You've been the person you want to be the whole time. You just have to remember. You have to break free of the illusion. And it's right when he says that is when Hudson comes up from behind him and very symbolically knocks him out. And that's the I am awareness literally knocking out cold, knocking out clean of the old brainwashing, the old identity. Even though Mason just walked through the halls and he was going through, you would see his mind was what people say, you know, your ego's throwing you these negative thoughts, these negative emotions, making you feel different ways, pulling through, but he still walks through. He still goes through it. And Hudson, as a final, you know, cap on it, he punches him. And it's when he gets knocked out and he's sitting on the ground, he finally comes to the realization that he's been the guy the whole time. Reznov never existed. It was only him, you know, and that he had the answers the whole time. He was it the whole time, to a point that they were easily able to get to his subconscious. I mean, he knew where the ship was, right? They were trying to find the ship to see where they were going to do the command so they could take it out. And it's like, as soon as he went all in, he fully became the identity of the guy, of the soldier, right? Of the guy that knows it. He fully snapped back into the real reality, right? Just like the I am awareness was saying, Hudson Weaver saying, you know it. When he finally broke away from the old, he instantly knew, he could instantly crack the code of the numbers. He knew the name of the ship. It was, you know, instant. And even Hudson says, and this is, I mean, a lot of people could pull this, that they're like, you know, I wavered, it's been this long. No, it's never been that long. As soon as you finally become it, the identity, even Hudson says, all that lost time in your memories or this and that, it doesn't matter now. It will all make itself up. Because the manifestation of your identity is instant. It's instant. It's not like, oh, I got to go wait 6 months. No, it's instant. And it was instant when he said that. I thought it was a really good way to just break this whole teaching of manifestation. Because I've been seeing a lot on YouTube that a lot of people, it's the way they look at manifesting is like Mason in the chair. And it's like, what do the affirmations mean? You know, I feel like it's like when I heard the numbers, right? What do the affirmations mean? Blinky, what does the affirmations mean? That's what it sounds like to me when I see all these other people like trying, repeat it, you know, repeat those affirmations, right? Repetition, machine gun that shit, right? SP love me, I am rich, I am healthy. It's like, it's the same energy as Mason getting fucking yelled at by the I am awareness of Hudson and Weaver, the CIA, yelling at him. What does it mean? What does it mean? He doesn't know what it means because he's not it yet. All right? It's once you finally become it, that's who you are. Boom. Shit's instant manifestation. Instant. The shit is instant. All right? Shifts are happening instantly. As soon as you say it, as soon as you are it, it's instant. Okay? And I just see a lot of people on YouTube. I'm like, Jesus Christ. You know, break out of the chair. Break out of the chair. Break out of the chair. Stop getting zapped. You know, what does the numbers mean? What does the numbers mean? What does the numbers mean? I have to, you know, I got to say my affirmations. I got to say 4,000 affirmations. I have to do my stats. I can't even say it. Sesh every night. And if I don't do that, then I won't get, yo, calm down. You know, someone who has it isn't going to be worried about this shit. Okay? And it was a really good parallel. I also wrote down a really good part at the end when he got knocked out, right? By Hudson, when he finally broke free of the chair, and Hudson came up one more time, tapped him on the deck and knocked him the fuck out. And that's when it symbolized, you know, symboly, I can't even speak. The symbol of it was, that was the epiphany moment that it was finally done. The old identity was out completely. And you even see in the cutscene that, you know, he literally says, I remember. I remember. There's no doing, there's no this. You have to break free of the illusion. And it's like, it's the same thing with our identity. It's like, no, you remember your greatness. You remember how amazing you are. You remember how good looking you are. How you're the sexiest motherfucker on the earth. Whatever. You remember how everyone always clings to you. Whatever we're doing, you remember it. It starts in here. You remember it, right? And then it comes out. Also, I wanted to mention this, when they were talking and they showed the cutscene of the brainwashing from Steiner, Kurchenko, and Dragovich, which is the old identity, right? It even says the old identity. And this is for the people that think like, you know, they can't break free of their old identity, or the ego's too strong. Bullshit. Because even Steiner says, you know, few men can possess this will. That they even knew when they were doing the brainwashing on the guy, they knew that they couldn't do it. They were even questioning. They were like, oh shit, because they knew Mason was too strong. His mind was too strong. It doesn't matter what brainwashing happens, whether it's anyone, Reznov, this, that, he's the strongest one. Even Steiner was like, few men possess just this much will. So they were even questioning the brainwashing men. And it shows that you're stronger than whatever old identity you are. No matter how it makes you feel, whatever crazy thoughts it throws at you, circumstances, people, places, things thrown at you, you're stronger than that. You know? You're way stronger than that. Whether it's anxiety or anything else, it doesn't matter. If it's mental, if it's in the mental plane or it's in the physical plane, it doesn't matter. Because you're it. It all came from you. And a side note, this wasn't from the mission, but this was earlier on in the campaign. I wrote this down because I really think we could draw more parallels to this, right? Was when I say the CIA, it's Hudson and Weaver interrogating him, right? So the CIA says, you will answer our questions. Do you understand? And Mason's like, who the hell are you? And the CIA is like, this is not important. What is important is who you are. What's your name? And Mason's like, fuck you. And then they say, where were you born? And Mason's like, kiss my ass. And what does the CIA do? Fucking electrocutes him. And then it says, your name is Alex Mason, born in Fairbanks, Alaska, and served in Operation 40. Is that correct? Mason doesn't answer. They electrocute him again. And then he says, yes. This is the same type. This is the I am awareness, right? The CIA is the I am awareness. This is how you got to fucking treat your old identity. If that asshole talks any shit to you, who the hell are you? Dude, you run the show. All right? Old circumstances, you run the show. You say, that's not important who I am. All right? I tell you what to do, okay? It's not important. What's your name? Fuck you. Again, twice. The old identity, right? Mason, the old identity, reacting to the I am awareness, saying, fuck you. Cuts him out. You know what the I am awareness does? Disregards it. Says, where were you born? Third time. You know why he got electrocuted? 3 strikes. Kiss my ass. What does the I am awareness do to him? Electrocutes him. Says, no. I'm the pimp around here. You answer to me. And then you tell the old identity. You tell them what's going on. Doesn't matter what's happening, what you see, how they make you feel, what's going on in your head. You fucking tell them with conviction. Your name is Alex Mason, born in Fairbanks, Alaska, and served in Operation 40, which is the one that they did all the killing in, right? Is that correct? And when the I am awareness says, is that correct? They were not asking when they said that. They were telling. So I know people are going to be in the comments saying, oh, well, they were questioning. They didn't know if it... No, they knew the whole time. This was not a question. This was not... All these questions were like... Not questions. They were telling. It was all telling. You will answer our questions. Do you understand? There's no... It's not like, oh, do you understand? No, I don't want to answer. No. There's no questions. They're reminding him, one, the I am awareness here is reminding Alex Mason who he is, bringing him back to the reality that we choose. And when they say, is that correct? They're not taking no for an answer. To a point that they zap him a second time. They zap him a second time. And he has no choice. They never had a choice. Obviously, they say yes. Because the I am awareness is the thing that runs reality, right? So this is my little breakdown of Mason and how great of Black Ops the story just describes manifestation. And I'm not talking about these manifestations that are like, I want a coffee. This one more embodies these manifestations that are like, we're talking about, life glow-ups. These are big ones when you're going to really have to battle your identity, right? And it wasn't until he finally broke himself out of the seat and he had the realization that it was him the whole time. It wasn't Reznov, and the old programming didn't affect him anymore. They cracked the code. All that time that was wasted doing this, Hudson even says, there's no time lost. We're going to get all the time back. Because it's instant. Manifestation is freaking instant. And a side parallel is, if any of you guys feel like manifestation is like you in the fucking chair, like Mason, getting zapped and electrocuted and where are the affirmations? Where are the fucking, did you do your stats? I can't even fucking say that. Your sats. Did you do your stats session? Did you picture everything perfect? What did you say your affirmation? If you're ever stressing that you're doing something, calm down. This shit is not that important. It's very easy to do. It's just like when you go to the restaurant and you order something. Are you saying 10,000 affirmations so when you could get the Caesar salad? No, you're not. You order the Caesar salad, you know it's coming, and that's it. Yeah, all right, whatever. If something happens, yeah, you can remind yourself, say some affirmations here and there, but it should never feel like you're getting tortured. And I see a lot of these people with the repetition and the robotic affirmations. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Honestly, I'd rather be Mason. He seems like he's having more of a fun time than sitting there in a fucking room saying, SP love me, or, I'm rich. Like, dude. Like, come on. It also goes to show you that, just because when you regurgitate words, just like how the I am awareness was constantly, saying, what does the numbers mean? What does the number mean? What does the numbers mean? It didn't get to him. You got to dig deep. You got to say stuff that your subconscious feels. Just like how my buddy Nir Larthos says, you got to self-pedestalize yourself. Or Big Bro, Eric from The Power I Am says, go in the fucking dictionary and go look up synonyms of the most crazy words and rampage about yourself. These affirmations should not be like, SP loves me. I'm good looking. I lost 5 pounds. I have a lot of friends. What are some lame affirmations I see? I'm in a loving, committed relationship. No, they have to be like, people sign over their estate and all their houses to me just so I can sleep at night on a bed. I always get king treatment wherever I go. Fuck that. I always get God treatment wherever I go. Okay? I am the sexiest motherfucker on earth. Modeling agencies cry when I say no. I have so much money. I don't know what to do with all of it. I'm gonna start burning it. I don't know. Guys, we have to say these crazy fucking things. It's the only way that's gonna break us out of the fucking chair. You know, you can't be light, especially when you know, like Mason, his brainwashing was 5 years. Dude, he's been 5 years. Some of you have been thinking shit for 50 plus years, 20 years, 10 years, doesn't matter. You gotta come in ready to fucking throw some haymakers to kill someone. Like, you gotta kill that old identity. This isn't like, you know, patty cake, all right? Especially when you're doing like a really big glow up that you've been, you know, living in a false illusion for this long in this paradigm that's like, you gotta break that shit. And we can't be nice about it. Look at Hudson. Hudson knocked him out. I mean, you could say, listen, that's you know, that's a comeback from Mason knocking him out and breaking out of the chair, but nonetheless, it shows you got to throw some punches, all right? So when you do something, really add the hyperbole to all of it and the exaggeration, all right? Because that's what we need. You need to build yourself up. Put yourself up on the throne, or put yourself up in the clouds like the god or goddess you are, all right? But I want to do more breakdowns of Black Ops. This is just my first one. I felt like we really needed to get this out. And one last thing. If you ever feel like, we're always manifesting, right? But if you ever feel that like you're over techniquing it, like Mason sitting in the freaking chair getting zapped, you know, what does the affirmations mean? What do the affirmations mean? You know, it should never feel like that. You are the God. You are the God of your reality. It should never feel like, you know, we're forcing ourselves. You don't force yourself to be a God. A God would never force themselves to be a God. All right? They just are a God. Okay? So put the energy back in yourself. Realize who the fuck you are. Remember, all right? All that other old shit's illusions. It doesn't matter what happened to you. All right? Who said what happened. Doesn't matter if there's freaking thoughts in your head telling you the opposite. Tell it to go fuck itself. All right? Just like Hudson and Weaver zapped Mason. Look, do I got to read this again? Do I got to read this again? You will answer our questions. Do you understand? Who the hell are you? This is not important. See? They take command. What is important is who you are. What is your name? Fuck you. See, that's the old, that could be the old identity fighting you, or circumstances fighting you, right? Where were you born? See, deny, choose, be it, right? The I am awareness is, no. You're listening to me. I call the shots around here. What does old identity do? Old circumstance, some shit comes up, kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. Dude, what does the I am awareness do? This is not a mutual, you know, relationship. The I am awareness calls the shots. It electrocutes him and then says, your name is Alex Mason, born in Fairbanks, Alaska, and served in Operation 40. Told them, there's no question mark that. Told them that's what happened. And then they're like, is that correct? Just to check them. It wasn't really like asking for a response. It was just to check them. You know, are you gonna listen to me, or do I have to electrocute you again? There's no answer. So you know what they say? I'm electrocuting you again, right? And then he finally says yes. That's how you gotta be with your reality. Be uncompromising. Say it with conviction. And know that you are the fucking God. Okay? Guys, this is Blinky. You know what you gotta do. Leave a comment, leave a dislike, unsubscribe. I don't give a fuck, all right? I just want to get my point across. So, other than that, hope everyone's having a good weekend. and we got a lot more coming, so stay tuned.